Ha. We are now live. We are now live. We are now live. We post the topic. And then we and then we pin it, right? No. Come, don't go. Oh my goodness. Interestingly, I have been on several Instagram live chats, but this is the first time I'm hosting one. So I'm trying to pin our topic of discussion today. Interesting. I already have people here. Sweetney, oh my goodness, Sweetney, how are you? Okay, let me not deceive myself. I need my glasses. So if you can let me know whether you can see the topic. Did I pin it already? I'm trying to pin the topic so that everyone who joins can see it. Have I succeeded in doing that? I'm not sure I have. Have I succeeded in pinning the topic? Long press. Oh. Okay. Let me put on my glasses. Oh, eating body. How are you all doing? Thank you so much. You guys are making my day already. Ha ha ha. Okay, I'm trying to see how to pin the topic, but it's not working so far. But don't worry, we get going. No, I have not. Oh my goodness. How do I do that? I have tried. It's not agreeing to pin. I know I'm supposed to give it a long press, and then it's supposed to show pin this topic, but it's not working right now. I'll keep trying to do that, but thank you for coming through. I'm seeing you all and I really appreciate you. It is the Queen Rita Show. We're having a live chat here on Instagram, and I truly appreciate everyone who is here already. Chrisabel, I see you, boo. Oh my God, Sweetney, I don't know how to. Victor Pepple, thank you all for coming. Oh my goodness. Hey, how are you all doing? Oh my goodness. Mr. Inka. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I'm sure we already know who our guest is for today. Kure Samuel, I see you. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone. I'm so overwhelmed already. Thank you so much. Hey, Sasha. Thank you. Doris, I see you. Bobola May, thank you all. How do I pin this topic? It's refusing to stay. Like our guest, Lapecious Bose, is going to join us very soon. I'm live on Instagram. Are you trying to help my ministry? I'm live on Instagram. Okay, so Amanda is trying to help me out with something, but it will have to wait until we are done with this chat. I don't know why. Did I finally get it this time? No. Anyways, yes, that's it, but it's refusing to pin. Oh, finally, I got it. Finally, I got it. Yes, we've pinned it. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we are live. It is the Queen Rita Show. Call it episode 001. And my guest is the vivacious, super intelligent, beautiful, go-getting, Lapecious Bose. She will join us shortly, and we're going to be talking about her weight loss journey. We're going to be talking about surviving a male-dominated industry. As we all know, she is a comedian. Sydney Jackson Cruz, thank you so much. Yes, beautiful. Thank you very much. She is a comedian, a good one at that, and Lapecious is not just good from a distance. When you get to meet her personally, you come to realize just how amazing she really is. Mr. Yinka, I don't take this for granted. Thank you so much. I'll give us Stevie, your malaria. Oh my God. Thank you, girlfriend. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate you. Yes, 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 yes. We are live. And I'm going to get Lapecious Bose on very soon. Is she here? Let me see. Oh yes, she is here. And I'm inviting her so we can get this party started. No, I'm inviting Lapecious Bose. That's who I'm inviting, right? Yes. Hey, Jesus Christi, Rita. Yes, go live with Lapecious. Okay, so I've invited her, waiting for her to accept, and then we'll get this group going. Yes! Oribu. My head is bigging. Hey. Sis, thank you so much. You have no idea what this means to me. Thank you very much. Guys, we have Lapecious Bose in the house. We're going to be springing a couple of surprises. Oluwaseun, thank you for joining us. Daudu Buki, thank you for joining us. We're going to be springing a couple of surprises, but I have been on several Instagram live shows, okay? Several. I can't count them. But this is the first time I'm hosting one. And when I said to Lapecious Bose, I want to do this and I want you to be my first guest, she said, anytime. Just let me know. Thank you. Thank you so much. And even when I kept postponing, you were like, it's ever ready. Anytime you're ready, let me know. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. Instagram is not friendly with time, so we're going to go straight into it. How are you doing, though?
Well, just about 5 minutes before I started this, before I got online, I got a very destabilizing news. So it destabilized me a bit, but I'm trying to get myself in place.
I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's fine. That's what we say in theater. The show must go on. It's not.
You know, right?
I'm not a big rapper, but I'm sure when we get into it, I would get out of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sorry about whatever that is. I pray that you get over it. Whatever issues it is will be sorted and fast too. Once again, thank you for coming through. Well, I said it earlier, Lapecious Bose is a comedian. Does she need introduction? But that's what you do in the show. You introduce your guest. So let me introduce her. She's a comedian. The one thing I think a lot of people don't know about you is the fact that you are a lawyer. Almost everybody knows you're an actor. But most people don't know that you are a lawyer called to bar and practicing. Most people don't know that. So now you know. Don't think it's only when you have weddings and events that you can invite her to come and do MC and be a comedian in the stand-up show. No, she's also a lawyer. So we have to also make that ministry move to the permanent sites. All of them follow. Yeah, I chose you for a reason.
We they sell land, we they buy land, we they do all of them.
Okay, everyone, let's dive right to it. I wanted to be very strategic in starting this show because first I wanted to have a female on the show. And then I also wanted one that has a story that resonates. And before I met you personally about 3-4 years ago, right? What was that? Namibia? Okay, Lagos, before Namibia, right? I've known you to be a really exciting, fun person. And then I've also watched, the way you decided at some point, look, I have to change the way I look, what I did. I want to do something about my weight. We're going to get to that. Let's talk about your career first. You are a theater artist and you graduated as one, and you have done quite a lot. You own a theater group, right? At some point. I don't know whether it still exists. But then you decided, I want to do comedy. Why comedy? Because it's a male-dominated industry. There ain't much. I can count people on my fingertips. Lapecious Bose, Helen Poor, recently Worry Picking. Who else? I don't know. But really few. Why stand-up comedy?
Well, like I always say, stand-up comedy kind of discovered me. I didn't discover stand-up comedy. When I started comedy, I didn't even know there was an industry called stand-up comedy. I didn't know there was a career path called comedy. I was a student studying theater arts in the university, and all I knew about comedy was performing satire on stage. And
Wow.
I didn't know there was anything called stand-up or anything. The closest I knew was hosting events. And I belong to a
Okay.
group called Rapomania organization that used to have slapstick shows. And Rapomania
Mm-hmm.
organization is like the foundation of almost every skit that you see in Nigeria now, all over. Because
Yes,
this
yes.
the whole concept of skits, and then you do skits on stage, and then we link one skit to the other, and the skits talked about the things that were happening in school as at that time. And
Mm.
we were a group of people that just did comedy skits, and each one was about 3 to 5 minutes long. And
Okay.
so, of course, when you're doing that kind of thing, you need somebody to hold the ground while you change the stage. If you're trying to change the
Yes.
stage
Yes.
setting,
We said.
someone has to hold the crowd while you're changing the stage setting, because we didn't have that privilege of. It's the same people that are acting, that are the ones that are setting the stage, that are the ones that
The
are
stage and
so you just need that one person that will be on stage, making the audience, keeping the audience active while you're doing all that and setting up and all
mm.
that. So it was, of course, that was when they asked me to be the host, and I was like, "How, Mike? How?" you know. Prior to that, my brother was the host, and when he graduated was when they asked me to become the host. And of course, I didn't even know what was expected of being a host, so I asked them for the script, and they said, "There's no script. You speak from your head." I was like, "Eh?" They said, "Where do you think your brother has been speaking from?"
Wow.
And that was my first introduction to stand-up comedy. So I got on stage, and I opened my mouth, and for the life of me, I don't know what I said, but I remember that there was a classmate of mine sitting in the audience that made a mistake of saying something, and I took him to the cleaners, and that was how the show started, and it was interesting.
Wow, 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 wow. So, like you said, comedy chose you, and you've been doing comedy for how long now?
Can I calculate? Because I see people who calculate when they started comedy. I see people celebrating 20 years on stage, 15 years on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly can't calculate when I started comedy, because I mean, I was a student, and I think I was in theater arts in 1993 or thereabout. And that was when I started doing comedy. So I can't really say, oh, this is how long I have been doing it, because it's something
Mm.
I have always done. So I can't really. It wasn't a career path that I chose and I said, "Oh,
And
I've started
planned.
comedy." Yes, I've started comedy now. This is what I'm doing. This is I didn't even now when people ask me the jobs I've done, sometimes I don't know. I don't remember, because I didn't. It wasn't something I consciously documented.
It
I
comes
didn't consciously.
spontaneously. Okay, Victor Peppo is telling you you've been doing comedy for 27 years. He has done the
That's
maths for
am-
you.
that's amazing, because even me myself, I don't know how I got there. I just know that, because even from secondary school, I've always been
Mhm.
like the school host for one thing or the other, or I've always been in charge of the school dance group or the school drama
Mm.
group or something. So I know that from like primary school, I've always been in entertainment, either in school or in church
Mm.
or something. I've always been that person that always wants to be in front of everybody else. So yeah, so technically, if you're talking about professionally, then I will lock it down to 27 years, like she has said.
Wow, interesting. Now, I'm still going to dwell on this a bit because whether we like it or not, in Nigeria, and I think elsewhere in the world, it's a male-dominated industry. We have so many male comedians. I think for everyone, there is probably 10, every one female, there's more than 10 male comedian in Nigeria. Has that been a challenge for you or was it an advantage?
You mean to every 1,000 male comedians there is there's one female comedian? you know. Uh, just yesterday I was doing an interview, but it was a recorded one, and they were asking the same question. And
Yeah.
it's funny because I said this, and I would repeat it again. I have been angry about it. I have been bitter about it. I have been upset about it. I have been amused about it. I have laughed about it. I have gone through all kinds of emotion about being in a male-dominated industry. And now I'm older, and I am not about male or female anymore. I think if you had asked me this question 10 years ago, I would have had another answer. And the answer I would have had 10 years ago would have been my reality, my truth. And if you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have had another answer, and it would have been my truth as well. And any answer I give to you right now will still be different, and it will still be my truth.
Truth of now.
And the truth right now is that for me, I don't even see male or female anymore.
Okay.
I only see wanting to be a better comedian. I mean, when you look at groups like The Real Worry Pikin, she's matching the guys up level to level. So what is a male doing that she's not doing? I mean, it doesn't really, you're being male or being female doesn't prove nothing anymore. What matters now in the Nigeria of today is how hungry you are for change, to change your story and to take your career to the next level. The internet has made it so easy for everybody to start from the scratch and to move. So for me, it's no longer about a male-dominated industry. It's about a competitive industry. It's now a competitive industry. It's an industry where everywhere you turn, everyone is a comedian, everyone is an actor, everyone is a skit maker, everyone. I find that more challenging than being a male or a female, really. You know, so it's different from the way I would have looked at it 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when you will see a woman, you will see a female deputy governor celebrating her birthday, and it's a guy, a man that is doing the MC. And you know, I remember I used to rant about it, even to people like you those days. Like, what's going on? I mean, why will we go and do African Women Conference, and then we'll take a man with us? Why are they following us?
Yeah.
You know? but then I see things different now. And I'm not really into all those male-dominated or female-dominated industry now. I think I'm more about being the best of your brand that you can be. Yeah.
Absolutely, I think that's a good idea, a fantastic way to look at it. Now, I asked this question because even as someone who does events myself, I remember once I was emceeing a wedding, and when I showed up and I was talking to the DJ and trying to familiarize myself with those I've been working with at the event, and somebody said, now woman be the MC. you know. Yeah. So you get that sometimes.
No, it's not sometimes. I still get it. And that's why I said I've gone beyond that, because there was a time that I would have knocked the heck out of that person. I would have insulted the person or ranted at the person, but these days I just look at you and I'm like, now woman, oh my brother, how you want to help my ministry? You know, now I find it amusing that in 2020, it's still surprising you that a woman can be the MC. I mean, we have gone beyond that, you know. But in the years when I first started, it was more challenging, because you would see brides that would outrightly say, no, I don't want a female MC. I don't want a woman anchoring my event, you know. And it was, and everything we did was suspect. If you just walk away to go and drink water like this, hey, if it was a man will not go. A man will stand there. A man will, you know, anything you do, they will just like, they are waiting for you to make a mistake so that they can remind you that it's because you are a woman, you know. So it was a lot of tiptoeing at the initial stage, You know, I had the blessing of having friends that believed in me when I started. People like ONG, I remember, I still said it yesterday. ONG, I remember 2 people that ONG told, I will refund your money if she does not perform well.
Oh, wow.
If she does not perform well.
And by the way, let's just say that God bless OMG. I've not seen or heard you have a conversation about your career without his name popping up.
No, because there's no way I can. I'm not the kind of person that keeps blessings and glory of people to myself. He did a lot in my life and it wasn't even like he was a mentor. You know, people had mentors, they had godfather. It was just my friend, you know, but it was a friend that had walked the path that I was walking, and he was ready to show me how he walked that path. And he made life easy for me. So the truth is, there were so many times being a female in the industry has its negativity and it has its positivity. Number one, for example, where did we meet? We met at doing all these women events, okay?
Yes.
We are going to how many countries together. It's because how many women really are in the industry. Maybe if I was the guy, by now they would have moved to the next guy or to the next guy. Maybe if you were a man, they would have moved to the next MC. But somehow, because we are limited, we are a limited edition of people. They are forced to still keep using us until they discover another species of our limited edition before they move on to the next one. So it still has its own blessings, and it has its own disadvantages. You know, like I keep saying, I'm always talking about when I met Owen in the industry, but I traveled out of this country to perform comedy long before Owen.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
And it's because I was a woman. It was that peculiarity of being a woman. I also performed in Aso Rock long before Owen. It was also because I was a woman. All the feminine events, female-oriented events. As a man, they have more competition because they are many are the afflictions of the righteous for them. But we are kind of limited, so it narrows it down when you have to decide on feminine issues. And it was okay for me because when I got into the industry, for example, all I wanted to do was, anytime they call female in the industry, I wanted to be one of the top 3. That was my goal. That was my target. When it is president's governor's house, so anything outside the country, as long as it is female, I wanted to be one of the top 3 that will be mentioned. Whether we are 10 women in the industry, whether we are 1,000 women. So my competition was never with the men. So I never really saw the men competition. My own was when they are calling women, they must call my name. You know,
your name was your name is being mentioned. It has been mentioned and it's still being mentioned. You know, that's what amazes me and how relevant you have been over the years. Even if it is just 20, somebody said 27, it looks like you're just starting because you're fresh. That's the word. You're fresh. You remember in Marrakesh, you were like, what am I going to say that is new now? You know, remember what I told you? I said, isn't it all you? Climb stage now. You will go. So it comes to you naturally, really, it does.
Thank you.
Let's move on a bit now. When it comes to your comedy, you started off using you as your subject of comedy. You talked about yourself. You made people laugh about your weight. As at that time, you were weighing 200 and something. I remember, right? Over 200 kg, and you made yourself the topic of discussion. And at some point, talking to you and hearing some of your interview, people were able to laugh about what you said, but it wasn't really a joke for you internally. Talk to us about that.
Okay, well, when I started stand-up comedy, remember I said I was on stage. I was standing on stage and I was wondering what I would say. Because I was practically pushed on stage. Just go and do it, you know. And I was on stage in the middle of the stage, and the first person I saw said something to me in the audience, and I replied him. And he said something else, and I realized that, this thing is going to be a battle of insults. So I took time for like 5 minutes and yapped myself. And honestly, it was not planned. It was just I just yapped myself. Okay, what are you going to say about me? You want to say I'm fat? I know. You want to say I'm this? I know. You want to say that? So I took all that from him, from the crowd, and I said what was in their mind. And as soon as I said it, people started laughing, and I realized, oh, that's getting them, you know. And so unconsciously, that's how I discovered that quality of comedy. However, I will go back to ONG again. By the time I came back to Lagos, I did not know that there was any big deal about talking about yourself. I had met him at an event and we were talking, and one day I was just gisting him about my experiences, about being fat and all that. And I would say something and he will stop and he will laugh and he will roll on the floor and I'll be like, I'm telling you what is paining me. This is my pain that I'm telling you now. Keep laughing. And I'll be like, this thing is annoying me. Why are you laughing? Then he told me, calm down. Turn it around. Imagine it was somebody else saying this thing and you are watching the person say it. Picture it in your mind and you will see the joke.
Wow.
And I took a pause, and I just opened my mouth and said the same story to him again. This time, imagining that it happened to somebody else. And I started laughing before I finished the story.
Wow.
And that was when I started taking notice of every personal experience. And once I notice a personal experience, I go back and write it down and rewrite it into a story form.
Wow.
For example, let me give you an example.
Okay.
When armed robbers robbed me in 2006 or thereabout, coincidentally, I was with Owen. They dropped Owen and the driver, and they were trying to take me away with the car. And honestly, I'm not joking. They could not close the door of the car.
Are you serious?
I was that big. They could not close the door of the car. So they had to park to drop me. They were taking me away with the car. They had moved me into the middle, but they couldn't move with the car. So they had to drop me.
Wow.
I was that big. Now, when we were recounting the story, and I was trying to explain what happened in the car. It was a robbery.
Wow.
The idiot Owen was laughing. After we had gone laughing so hard, I looked at it and I was like, that's true. They were carrying me away, and that was how I created a joke out of that experience. And I think I created about 2 or 3 other jokes about being robbed and how kidnappers could not take me away because I was too big for them to carry. You know, so I was able to kind of take away the pain from I use comedy to take away the pain of my personal experiences, you know.
Wow.
And for me, at the initial stage, it was fun. It was fun. We are talking, we are making money. It's okay. I'm finding strength in my weakness. I'm made perfect and all that. But after a while, the weight wasn't funny anymore. You know, I had my personal demons that I was dealing with in private, and suddenly it wasn't funny. Being fat wasn't funny anymore, and if my sense of humor is not intact anymore, then what am I doing? And so it was time to sit down and take a reassessment of my life. And it was just before my 40th birthday. And I decided, okay, you ain't a little girl anymore. You ain't a girl child anymore. It's time to answer the questions that you have been running away from all your life. And you know, I decided that if I can't be funny without being fat, then I'm not funny, and then I should not bother. I should not bother.
And at that point, you decided, I have to do something about this weight. What year was this? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I mean, no, but I can't forget that. Yeah, I mean, I can't. It was somewhere in 2014 that the mental journey started. It was 2014 that my mental journey started, because that got to do with mental health more than anything else. And I remember that my brother had said to me once, and I remember crying about it when he said, "Boss, they are not laughing with you; they are laughing at you." You know, and I was thinking in my head, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he trying to run me down? You know, because people said they are not laughing with you. There's a difference between laughing with you and laughing at you. And yes, when the consequences of your being overweight comes, when the heart problems comes, when the health issues come, they won't be there. They won't be there. You will be there to deal with it. And the rest of the family will be there to deal with it. So you can't keep making excuses and keep saying, oh, this is how I am. This is not how you are. I grew up with you. And I know that you are more disciplined than this. You can't tell me you can't help yourself. You know, you can't help yourself. I have lived with you. I have seen you weather some crazy storms. I know that if you put your mind to do this, you can do this, you know.
Wow.
And after a while, the weight was becoming worse. I mean, I didn't wake up 210 kg. I mean, it was a gradual process. I remember that prior to that, for like 3 years, I had not seen my period. My period had literally ceased. And,
wow.
And I had gone to hospitals, I'd done checks and all that. And doctors had told me that there was nothing wrong with me. I'd done fibroid tests. They said there was nothing wrong with me. And then and then this was the crazy part. I would not see my period for like 2-3 months. And while I'm there thinking, oh, it's okay, I've not seen my period. Oh, okay. Oh, I might be at an event. I remember a particular day I was at an event. And thank God I was wearing something big, because I was big then anyway. I looked on the floor and I saw lumps of blood on the floor by the seat I was sitting on. And honestly, I thought it was like Ribena or something had poured on the floor. You know? And I looked and I was like, what is this?
Wow.
And the person sitting next to me said, "Doctor, you need to go to the toilet. I think your period might have come or something, you know, something like that." And I said, no, it's not possible. You know, the person said, "Look now, it's your seat. And the seat is stained." But the dress was not stained, because, you know, it's those dresses that you see when you sit, you can actually lift them up, you know.
Yeah.
So it was the lining of the dress that was stained. You know, so I took tissues from the table and I quickly put them on the floor and cleaned the floor and all that. And then I went into the restroom. And I saw those lumps of blood coming out of me. And now this is the scary part. By the time I got home, it had stopped, and I didn't see it again. You know.
Whoa.
So and this happened very erratically. I never know when it's going to come up. I never know what will happen. I never know how long it will come. It will just be like blood that had been stored in the body, and then it would just come like that. And so I started wearing very, very big, dark colored clothes, because you never. I wanted to avoid an embarrassment,
just to be prepared.
you know. So yes, so just to be prepared, because you never know when this is going to come up. And of course, because the period was not, I was looking all very black and very. And then of course the doctor now recommended some hormonal medication for me to help regulate the period, so that the period will come when it's supposed to come and all that. And needless to say that was making me bigger. I did not know that it was making me bigger, but it was making me bigger. I
Yeah,
remember it was in
some
Abuja.
of
I
those
was at,
drugs do that.
yes, I can't. Funny enough, I can't even remember. Me. I'm just such a careless person. If I had known that my life would be like this, I would have kept like a proper diary. I can't even remember the name of the drug, now. But I remember that I was in my friend's house, Nike, and in Abuja, I had an event, and she said she saw the tablet and she said, "Bosse, why are you taking this?" And I said to her that I had irregular period. She said, "But Bosse, she said it in Yoruba that if everybody is taking this, it shouldn't be you again. This will just make you bigger again. It will blow you up. This is not what wicked doctor recommended this to you." She was
Oh,
really very
wow.
and all that, and it got me thinking. And so I stopped taking it again. And so the more I used the medication, the bigger I got, the more depressed I got, the more I ate, the fatter I got. It was just a vicious circle. And psychologically, I was going crazy, and I was in a very, very dark place. And like
So
I said, it
at
was
some
close to my
point you
40th
dealt with
birthday.
depression.
Sorry?
You said at some point you dealt with depression in this whole journey.
At what point did what?
You said I said at some point you said you the more depressed you got. So you had to deal with depression at some point during this whole process.
The foundation of my initial problem was actually depression. The foundation of the initial problem was actually depression, and so it was a mental battle in itself. The mental battle was much more than the weight loss itself. So it was really bad. I was not only I was not only depressed, I was suicidal, and
Wow.
There were a lot of very dark, stormy moments, and I still tell people that I'm sure if I came from a large family, I would have died. I wouldn't have thought twice about killing myself. But I mean, I come from a family of two, just me and my dad and my brother, and my parents had a lot of challenges having me. My parents have their own marital story where children are concerned. I mean, we grew up in a generation where people were having 10, 15, 20 children, and my parents just had my brother and I alone. And so every time I wanted to take my life, I thought, what will happen to these two people?
Oh my goodness.
Even staying in Nigeria, so many times I've packed my bags and I wanted to relocate, but I've asked myself, who will take care of these two people for me? I mean, who will take care of these twins that I have? Who will help me and take care of them? So, so although I don't live in the same house with them, I like the fact that I know that I'm just a phone call away
Proximity.
from them. So, sorry?
I said at least there's a proximity. You can just get in the plane 1 hour or how many minutes drive you're there.
I don't know why I can't really. Your network is seasoned.
Oh,
your network
wow.
is seasoned.
Okay, can you hear me now?
So I'm hearing you come in and go. I don't know maybe if I should.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, say that again.
Can you hear me now?
No. I'm hearing you come in and going.
Oh my goodness. But I can hear you. I can hear you clearly, actually.
I know you can hear me, because if you can't hear me, I would have seen it on my own screen. That it was my network. I think it's coming from that side. That's why I'm worried.
Okay, the viewers are saying they can hear us both clearly, so I don't know what's going on. Sharon also says, Auntie B, I can hear you well. That's KDQ.
Okay.
Can you hear me now, Bosse?
Okay, now I can hear you a bit. I'm trying to see whether I can. I'm trying to see.
Maybe a call was coming through. You kind of uninterrupted your audio.
I'm trying to see if I can use another line.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying
While
to
you're
see if I can
sorting
use.
that out. Okay, no problems. Okay, Second Spectrum said I can hear you both loud and clear. Ejoba says I can hear you. Sally says I can hear you both clearly. I can hear you both. Okay. Guys, thank you all so much. Let's just give Boss a second to fix that up, and then oh my goodness, thanks everyone. Shola, hello to you as well. Bella, Annie, I see you.
Rita, don't worry. Let me log out of here and log on here.
Okay, great, no problems.
Okay, let's see what this one will do. Rita, don't worry. Let me log out of here and log on here. Okay, great.
I can hear us both from your end. Yes, Bella Annie, it indeed must have been so bad, indeed. Wow, the questions was say your weight loss is amazing. That's Cecil Legbele. Thank you, guys. We're going to get Boss back on shortly. Bella Yi, Pejoba, okay, thank you so much. Hi, Bella Annie, how are you doing? Guys, thank you so much. Also, my brother Emmanuel Hi, thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks everyone for being there. I'm sure that this has been inspiring so far. And when Pose comes back, we're just going to, because of the way Instagram is, and we might be running out of time, we're going to, try to find out from her how we can learn from her weight loss journey, actually, because sometimes it's about the consistency in keeping it up. Some people will lose weight in a couple of, a matter of time, they get it back up, everything comes back, and it becomes a real challenge. But how has she been able to? Okay, I see you now. Go live with the questions, boss. Yes. Yes. Okay, so she's going to come on very soon so that we can continue and try to close the show for today. Thanks, everyone. BFF Academy, I see you. This is Dr. Faith. Thank you so much. Sharon Osa, great. You're back up, sis. Oh, Sharon Osa said I have missed a lot. Just join. We'll try and put this up on IG. Can you hear me now, sis? Boss, can you hear me? Okay, great. So before those network, or should I say it's my village people, before the network came on, and you know how Instagram is, we're running out of time quickly. So I do know that, with all what happened.
This network, don't do this today. This network, don't do this today.
They should not try it. Oh. KJQ 29. What do you talk now? I just. Yes, you cannot hear Auntie Boss. She's trying to reconnect. She's trying to reconnect. I think the network, yes, she went off. She's trying to reconnect. I think the network has been acting up really. But, the story has been really amazing so far. Sometimes when you find yourself in an industry that is dominated by the opposite sex, in her case, male dominated, there are some men who are in industry that are female dominated, like the makeup industry, for instance. And sometimes you feel out of place. I love what she said. You have to decide that forget about the sex and look at your capacity. How good are you? What can you bring to the table? Are you delivering the goods? That's what's the most important thing. There are very few female comedians that you can count. Like I said, we have Lapecious Bose, we have what's her name? Of course, my sister Rewari Pikin is doing amazing, matching every single one in the industry word for word. Hello, Stavose is back up. This network, Don't try also. No try also. Okay, let's see if we can get Boss back up and try and close this conversation as quick as possible. Boss, are you there? Yes, Helen Paul. Thank you, KDQ. Helen Paul. Yes. And you know, there might be others who do skits and all that, but when it comes to stand-up comedy, these are names that you can easily relate with. I thought I invited her back. Yes. No. I think I invited her back to join us live. So yes, when you're in an industry that is dominated by the opposite sex, like I was saying, I've gone to MC an event once and somebody said, now woman be the MC. And I said, yes. So can I have the microphone? You know, but at the end of that event, the person did give me a job. That person who asked the question came to me and said, oh, well done, you're really good. And I got to connect for another job from that person. So it's so true what she said. It's about what are you doing to make people understand that you are good in this industry, you are worth your salt. It's not whether you are male or female, it is whether you are efficient, whether you qualify, whether you can deliver at the end of the day. That is most important. Let's go live. Okay, let me invite her again. I think something happened there. She probably changed time. Instagram. Okay, yay, you're back. Right. You're back, right?
Rita Kpedewa, I feel for you. I go through this on Sundays, so I know what it feels like.
I know, right? So yeah, before Instagram yanks us off, you talked about going through depression and even contemplating suicide. Thankfully, you had a reason not to. Some people are not that lucky. They go over the cliff. But thankfully, you had a reason to hold on and say, I have to not do the thing, right?
Let me tell you something sad about depression. A depressed person is first and foremost a selfish person. When you're going through depression, you're thinking of yourself alone. And when you're able to take away from yourself and look at all the other people that your depression, your death will affect, it calls you back to sanity. Mine was, it was so bad that I would think of depression, I would think of suicide, and I would wish, and this is real, I would wish that a plane would crash. That, whoa, that I'm in the plane. I want it so that this way I'm not the one that killed myself. You understand?
Oh my God.
As long as it was a quick death, as long as all I did not want was to have an accident, then be in the hospital, and one leg gone, and that's when I did not. But death, oh, I was ready for it, you know. But you know, when now I have to count 1 to 10 every day of the reasons why you have to be alive. Wow. And that's why I said, first and foremost, a depressed person is a selfish person, because at that time you want to die. You forgot that there are other people in that plane that don't want to die. They don't want to die. You are wishing for death in that plane. But there are other people that have children they want to go to meet. They have wife they want to go to meet. They have husband they want to go to meet. Because you are tired of life. You're like, I let this plane crash. Maybe I will die. So you are seeing, even in turbulence, you are seeing people going like, and you are calm. You are like, if it is today, it is today. The only last prayer is, Father, may I make heaven? After all, I'm not the one that killed myself. You know, that kind of thing. And that's why I said a depressed person is not somebody to be angry with. There are people you need to help, because at that time, they are so desperate for a way out of where they are, they don't care who they take down with them. And that's wow, the most dangerous person. Yes.
Well, you survived that. You came out of that and you decided, I'm going to make some things change. And you were 2010. What do you weigh now?
And now I'm 103.
Wow. You've taken up 107 kg.
And when you look at it in retrospect, it's more than that, because initially I was 95 kg. Then I gained weight back and I was 140 kg.
Whoa.
Then I lost that and I'm now 103. So it's like that. It doesn't.
So you have moved from being a size you've moved from being a size 32, right?
Yes, so, size 32 to a 14, and now a 16, and then to a 24, and now to a 16.
Are you serious? Oh God, Instagram, time. Recently, you posted something. Was it a video or something you wrote about being able to use your seatbelt for the first time, and you cried? You know, there are things that people take for granted, right? And despite the fact that we saw you at the point where you were this big, it would never have crossed my mind that, oh, Lapecious cannot use her seatbelt. You know, each time I say your name, I laugh, because the irony of the name you picked is pretty interesting. You understand? For your stage performance, it's pretty interesting. So at that point, like, what was the emotion you were processing at that point?
Queen, when I tell people, I don't know how other people see weight, but for me, I've had a series of firsts since my weight loss journey. The first time I was ever able to talk in, the first time I was ever able to use a seat belt, the first time I was ever able to actually sit on a toilet without panicking that the toilet will crack.
Wow.
You know, I've had a series of firsts, you know. Now, this is one embarrassing part that I will tell you. There's the part of shame in weight that people don't, that even the people go through it don't admit to themselves. You see, when you watch all these 600 life LBs, you think that their stories are strange or weird or impossible. They are not. In fact, I just stopped watching those things recently because I realized that they put me back into depression. Because when I sit down and I watch it, I relive my own story. Then I'll start crying with them. I'll start crying because I relive my story all over again.
Wow.
Let me tell you one of my biggest problems, apart from using the seatbelt, it was also using the toilet in the plane.
Oh.
First, I have to glide into the toilet. Then to close the door was a problem. The toilet in the plane was not meant for whether you are fat or slim. It's just a small toilet, a small cubicle. So it really doesn't matter who you are. So when I have to travel out of the country, people look at me and they're like, oh, you're traveling to London. You're traveling. I'm for every trip, panicking. I remember sitting beside somebody in the plane once, and the person was going, and it was those early days of squeezing yourself at the back in an economy flight, and they were just, and I'm not joking. From Nigeria to London, half of the flight I was standing.
Oh my God!
I was standing because the person was acting like I was occupying the whole space. I was standing, as in I went to the back to where the flight crew were. And I just struck a conversation, and I was just talking, and then, you know, I'll just gist with them, and they're like, don't you want to sit down? I'll be like, no, I'm fine. I don't like sitting for too long. I like to stretch my legs and blah, 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 blah. But it's a lie. I was dying.
Oh my God.
Until at a point I couldn't cope anymore. Then I sat, you know, that last seat that last seat that is between the flight and the cruise place. I now sat on the floor so that I could stretch my back. That was when I think it occurred to one of the crew members that this is what this lady's problem is. So she gave me the crew seat. You know that crew seat, that single seat. She gave it to me to sit. She gave it to me to sit for a while. So when it was time for the flight to land, she now told me that you have to go now. I'm sorry, you have to go now. but I could see the look of pity in her eyes.
Wow.
So for me, the weight loss is much more than before and after picture or looking beautiful. I have had some painful experiences. I remember I was walking in the airport one time and I was late for the flight already. So I was trying to walk fast with my luggage and everything. In fact, that's when I stopped taking hand luggage because I realized I was big enough to be a luggage myself. So I stopped carrying luggage. But that particular day, I had hand luggage and I was walking fast. And one woman walked close to me and said, "Can I help you with one of your bags?" And I turned and looked at her and I said, "Oh my God, thank you so much." She said, "You just deal with the handbag. I'll help you with your hand luggage." And she carried my hand luggage all the way up the stairs of the flight. And when she got up, I said, "Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You don't know what you have done for me." And she looked at me. She said, "I know. I've been big before."
Oh, wow.
She just looked at me and said, "I know. I've been big before. I understand what it feels like to be trying to walk fast, to carry the luggage and to still carry your own weight. So I know what it feels like." And I just made up my mind that if that is what I can do to reduce the weight from you, then I should do it for you. And since
Also,
that day, I made it a point.
here's what I'm going to do. I feel bad that I'm going to have to break our chain of thought. I'm going to end this video because we're running out of time. And we'll come back for maybe 10 or 15 minutes so that we can just round off. Is that okay?
No, I told you I do this every Sunday. I'm used to it.
So please, everyone, I'm going to end the video because Instagram 1 hour with all the breaks we had is done. Thank you all so much, but please stay. We'll come right back and try to round off because Bosa is going to help us do 1 or 2 giveaways, but we need her to conclude on that story because it's hitting me here. I've had to lose weight, but it's a joke. 7 kg. I can't even say it. We'll be right back. Thank you guys, everyone. We'll be right back. I'm going to go off and then we'll come back and start this again. Yes, KDQ say we're used to it. Thank you, everyone. Emmanuel Ohiomokai, thank you, everyone. I will be right back, miss. End the video.